really push on your bike when you're braking so you can get that traction. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are in Fernie. It's my first time riding this place and my buddy Alex and I just started a road trip. This is our first stop. We're gonna produce plenty of content, and actually this video is brought to you by the Fernie Bike Park as well as Mountain Biking BC. Yesterday we rode some epic trails. It was a ton of fun, and a lot of you guys asked us to do a video on how to ride steep and loose terrain. Guess what? We found the perfect trail for that. It's a pro line. Let's go. Okay, I'm not sure you guys can tell, but this trail is incredibly steep and loose. It's called Kodiak Carnage. It's actually a pro line. Pretty cool to have something like that in a bike park. And Fernie is known to have like a bunch of trails like this. So I'm gonna give you tips, whether it's line choices, bike setup, but also riding skills. So that way you can comfortably ride this trail or any steep and loose trail back home. Let's go. Okay, I'm gonna take the high line to show you guys.
Sick. Full scented.
Line choice is a huge parameter when mountain biking. It's what can make you fast, make you slow, but also it's what can make you crash or make you ride successfully a section. So when riding a trail like this, especially a pro line, and there is plenty of line choices, some lines require way more commitment than others. Some lines obviously are slower but easier. So it's really important to pay attention before you even ride your bike, just so you can keep safe. So let's dig into it. That trail is pretty cool because you got plenty of line. Rider's right, you got a few corners before a steep shoot, so you can shut down a lot of speed. Probably the easiest one. Rider's left, you got a high line that set you up perfectly straight for the shoot. Quite intimidating, but once you got your braking control dialed, it's actually not that bad. And then the one I enjoy the most, it's probably the race line, so the fastest line, but it's also the hardest one technically, and it requires lots of commitment. So let's go and see what's at the bottom. Okay, now I'm gonna show that middle line I like. Nice. So I went quite slow. I just wanted to show like perfect body position and also well using the terrain to slow down. But later on, I'll put a clip on Instagram where I go really fast so you can see.
This line and then go kind of there, yeah. Over the rock, down, turn, and then you're chilling.
If you're gonna do it, I'll do it. Yeah, nice one. Yeah. Good job. Yeah, she was able to perfectly control her speed because she used the berm to slow down. So she had a couple more corners to slow down before hitting that crucial left-hander. So we just met Charlie. He did a run before we actually filmed him, and he rode the rider's right entrance. He had a really good control, a good body position. You are able to shut down your speed a lot, but at the bottom there is that catch burn, that right hander, and you went straight, which I believe because you went straight you were not able to control your speed to successfully make the left at the bottom. Whereas if you had been able to take that catch burn, which requires a bit of commitment and you have to look at your exit, that slows you down a lot. And that's one of the aspect of that video is like explaining people that when you ride super steep and loose terrain, your line choice and how you're able to use the terrain to actually slow down is what's gonna make you ride successfully. So it was really good. And just like on the next lap, on this lap, if you're able to do it, when you come into that corner, if you can commit to making the corner, because that's gonna make you slow down. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, that was much better. You are really able to slow down into that corner. So for bike settings, obviously it's quite complicated because if you set up the bike perfectly for this section of trail, that means that you've made compromise on other section of the trail or other tracks. But overall, if you ride in a steep bike park or you do a steep race course, myself, I like to run my front end a little bit higher. So you can add some spacer below the stem. That's gonna raise your front end, put more weight on the back of the bike. You can also change a little bit your high speed, low speed, and air pressure settings on your fork. I like to run my shock slightly softer just because there is less weight on my rear wheels than usually because the terrain is steeper. So that's it for suspension. Now for brakes, I always run my brakes super high, but even more when it's steep. Why? Because I'm constantly behind the seats. So I feel more confident, more comfortable having flatter brake levers. In terms of tire pressure, that's completely dependent on the ground. Right here in Fernie, there is not too many sharp rocks. It's a lot of roots and the ground is pretty soft, so you can get away with a low tire pressure. Right now I've got 21 on the front, 25 on the back. Realistically, I could run 23 on the back, 20 on the front and be completely fine. And yeah, that's basically it. Let's talk about bike technique now, the most important. Now the most important part of the video is basically riding skills. So how do you get better at riding steep and loose terrain? Well, body position, super important, but also your ability to use the terrain. So what I mean by that is, as you can see, there's basically no traction. So if you just brake, not much is gonna happen. Your rear brake basically does nearly nothing. Your front brake normally stops you, but in that kind of terrain, the front brake only slows you down. So it's gonna be really important to use actually your rear brake and your hips to move the bike left and right, so you can use the terrain, move the bike and go and use, any catch burn, any kind of compression you see to slow down. At the bottom, for example, you got a catch berm, and I'm gonna be basically sliding into it, use my hips to pivot the bike and come into that berm so I can slow down as much as possible. Again, in terms of body position, your heels, you want to drop your heels as low as you can, and you want to be super relaxed on your bike. You don't want to fight the terrain, you want to play with the terrain, so once again you can get maximum traction. If you are holding your bars too much and if you are using your core too much to keep the bike in one direction, you're gonna skip over obstacle and lose traction. Whereas if you fairly relax and leave the bike moving below you, your tire is gonna keep on the ground and you can gain a little bit of traction, so once again you can slow down more efficiently. I think that's basically it, so let's put in practice and let's get some riding in. Okay, one more thing I didn't mention before. When riding super steep and loose terrain like this one, it's really important to adapt your body position. You don't want to stand too tall, like I would normally advise you to do on a regular trail. On this kind of terrain, you want to really stay low. You want to keep your center of gravity low, put your weight far back because you're trying to be as efficient as possible when braking. So heels down, really push on your bike when you're braking so you can get that traction. And yeah, I think Alex is gonna show you now. He's gonna put his helmet, go grab his bike, and he's gonna get a run. Alexandre Chapelier, alias the French liner, dropping in. Look at this! Sounds like you got some good coaching, eh?
Oh, I got the best coach!
Yeah! Oh, you better say that. Okay, what should we ride now?
Top Gun the Hollow Tree.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Top Gun, some flowy blues.
Whoa! Almost ran into you. Woo! That was close.
That's fun, huh?
So good, dude. Really good.
Okay, Hollow Tree.
Oh boy! Yeah, boy. Let's go, boy. Yeah, dude. That's cool.
Should we try this?
Never done it, eh?
No, me neither.
All right. Up. Whew. That's fun, Remy.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah?
Lizard lane?
Let's do it. Oh, so close!
Fun.
Oh my god!
Thanks a lot guys for watching that video. Big shout out to Fernie and Mountain Biking BC for making it happen. We had a blast, but it's not over. Next week on Thursday, I'm posting a new trail preview, an absolutely epic trail from top to bottom, 1200 meters of elevation, jumps, super steep, loose, tech riding, incredible light. That was awesome. One of my best memory on a mountain bike. So don't miss that. Make sure you subscribe, and our trip still has quite a few more days to go. So we're gonna be putting out plenty more content. And as always, to support me, check out the link in the description. I see you next week.